Welcome to the May Office Add-ins community call, everyone. Good morning or good evening based off your time zone. Thank you all for attending today. My name is Preethika Kiruveedula. I'm a product manager at Microsoft, and I'll be hosting the call today. Today is a relatively short community call. We initially were supposed to have 2 items on the agenda, but I don't think one of our presenters can make it. So we'll predominantly just be going over a Office add-in developer experience survey. That would be great to get your guys' feedback and thoughts on. So I will move forward here. So the agenda this morning will be myself. I will be asking about a survey because we want to get your thoughts on the developer experience for developing Office add-ins and what you're currently using and how we can better improve our experience moving forward. So it would be great if you could all take the time to fill out this survey. This survey is basically asking different questions such as how long you've been an Office add-in developer, what type of scenarios that you try to support using Office add-ins, the different hosts that you use, IDEs that you use, whether or not you use our templates, different questions like that. And this is predominantly so we can prioritize our work accordingly moving forward, and also to make sure that we include new feature requests and things like that, just so we have a better idea of what the current experience is and what developers such as yourselves are looking for. So the link to the survey is present here, and then we'll also put it in the chat later on in this meeting. And afterwards, I will also have it in the blog post for this month. So there's a few different ways to get access to the survey if you can't fill it out right now, but this is also a PowerPoint live link, so you should be able to go directly from this PowerPoint to this survey. All right, moving forward here. There are a few Q&As for this month that I'm going to start going over. I did want to mention that there were a few that came in this morning. Unfortunately, we didn't have a chance to get to those answers yet, but I will track down those answers and have them in the community call blog post that will come out in a couple weeks from now. So keep a lookout for that. And if you don't see it, feel free to add your question to the chat or also resubmit into the form for the June community call. So starting off, the first question for this month was, in my Office add-in for PowerPoint, I would like to provide a library of slides and custom shapes that the user can insert in the presentation through functions in the add-in. What would be the best solution for storing these slides and custom shapes after deployment to a wide group of users? Considering both response time and that I would like to be able to continuously update the content, so the shapes and the slides. So we had a few follow-up questions to this. So methods to store slides can be various. It quite depends on developers' choices. It could be SharePoint or user's own document library system. It would be great if you could give us more context about what your goal is. For example, how does your user want to store their shapes? And by saying continuously update the content, does it mean update the content in the library or in their PowerPoint file? It would be great if you could resubmit this question with the answers to these questions that we had here or answer in the chat, just so we can find the best solution. You could also always post on our Stack Overflow. We can also track it there, whatever is a preferable method of communication for you. But once we get a bit more context, we'll be able to answer your question better. Secondly, the question was, the APIs for PowerPoint are quite limited. Is there a time plan for when there will be APIs to allow working closed with graphical shapes and text frames? Specifically being able to work with charts, tables, wider range of formatting for text frames, freeform shapes, adjustment points, etc. Thank you for this question. Currently, there is no plan to support these in the short-term future. That being said, we would like to continue hearing your feedback and the user scenarios that you are continuing to try to support. So it'd be great if you could submit a request here at aka.ms/m365 dev suggestions. And at this page, we kind of catalog what our developers are looking for and how to prioritize them in our planning for our work in the next couple months. Thirdly, this question was, I've been looking for a way to do a simple copy-paste of shapes in PowerPoint. The closest I could find was a set selected data async and get selected data async with coercion type SVG, but it is really not the same. Is there a better option available or any forecast when there might be something better available? Currently, we don't have a direct way to do this. That being said, you should take a look at the shape-related APIs to see if you could read an existing shape and its properties, and then create a new shape with those properties. That's the best avenue we could suggest for now, but once again, we'll write this down as something that is a current user scenario that you are trying to support. We also got a question saying, I'm not able to find the PowerPoint files of previous Office add-in community calls when I go to the community blog, and I was able to find it before. Can you inform me where to find and download these PowerPoint files? So Our blog was recently refactored to no longer post the PowerPoint decks from the monthly call. But that being said, we do have a YouTube link in every blog, which not only goes over the entire deck, but also the content of the call. So, what we discussed, the demos, whatever the presentation was about, and things like that. So, I think that would also be a great resource to go take a look at. And we also have documentation, different links like that, but we are not posting the deck from each call on the blog post anymore. All right, our last question of the day was, I'm looking at developing an add-in for PowerPoint. As the task pane and content add-ins have different functions, are we able to essentially combine them into one add-in for the user? Or are there any issues with having two types of add-ins with one add-in drawing information from the other? Would also like to know if there are any restrictions or security issues from developing the add-in this way. So it is currently not possible to develop a task pane and a content add-in in one add-in project. So they're usually typically two separate projects from each other. If you'd like to submit a feature request to be able to do that, please give us more information about your specific scenario and what exactly you're trying to do at aka.ms.m365 dev suggestions, and then we can move forward from there. Once again, this is a fairly short community call, so that's all we really had for today. It was just the Q&A and the quick developer survey request. Once again, it'd be great to get your feedback on the developer experience and learn more about you as a developer and what IDEs you're using, what hosts you're using. So it would be great to hear from you on this survey. All right, and some quick PSAs on Office add-ins in general. If you're new to Office add-ins, this is your first community call with us. Here are some links on how you can get started developing Office add-ins. So this is documentation, quick starts for all the hosts we support, script lab, links. We have various samples that show different scenarios that you can do with Office add-ins. You can also always join the M365 developer program. And we also have Office scripts, which is a cool feature in Excel. So if you want to get started with that, this is a great documentation link on how to get started. And if you'd like to engage with our team more for specific technical questions about Office add-ins, go to this aka.ms link, which is Office add-ins dev questions. And you can also go to Stack Overflow. We monitor both of those links relatively frequently. If you find a bug in one of our APIs or things like that, please submit a ticket in Office.js in our GitHub repo. And then for any feature requests and ideas, as I mentioned a couple of the questions previously, go to aka.ms m365 dev suggestions and feel free to leave your requests/ideas there. And of course, if you don't have any super lengthy feedback, but you want to send us a smile or frown, you can always go ahead and do that inside Office. So it's quick thumbs up or thumbs down would always be appreciated. And if you're interested in the rest of the Microsoft 365 suite, we do have a few other calls throughout the month. So we have a platform call, the Power Platform call, Viva Connections, the Identity Platform, and another platform call. So you're also able to join all of these. If you want to take a look at all the different calls that we support as a team, feel free to go to the aka.ms m365 PNP link here, and that'll give you access to all our calls, a brief description, and things like that on how you can move forward. All right, and that is all for this call today. Thank you all for attending. I know it was pretty short, but the recording will be available in approximately 48 hours on the M365 community YouTube channel. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. Next call is June 14th at this same link. And submit your questions at the Office add-ins form, and we'll try to get to them before the next community call. And that is all for today.